Good morning, people's people. How you doing today? Hey, here's the thing. I made this video about I'd be willing to run for president, be president, if I could get millionaires and billionaires to back me up. Some of you very rich people. And it is true. I would be willing to do that. And, I had a friend or two say, I sound absurd. And I realized that, my chances are very, very slim on this. The problem is, I've never really cared about politics when I was younger. And I was kind of a hippie carpenter, predominantly a carpenter. The thing is nowadays what I see is there's this lack of good people, this lack of common sense, Like we need a different class of people in DC running our government, for the people, Now, I'm not saying, well, there's a lot of good people, there's farmers with a lot of wisdom, just like there's carpenters with some wisdom and some common sense and are reasonable and logical. And I think you should be somewhat scientific minded too in this, accelerating world. Science is very important. Real science, not fake science, not bullshit propaganda science, but real science is important. And I see a lack of that. Now, recently I've been watching Bernie Sanders again. And Bernie Sanders is right about almost everything. He's a very, very good man. And I would vote for him again. But who, he's old, right? So he needs a super good vice president. And who would that be? I'm not voting for AOC. AOC's out of her mind. No, you don't make it. And should open the borders wide open. And the problem with that is global warming, because there's going to be a very, very bad situation in the future where millions and millions and millions of people are going to want to migrate because it's going to be too hot to live elsewhere. It's going to be too hot to live in parts of the United States, too. New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, Nevada, and California are likely to run out of water in the near future. It could happen this year, it could happen in 3 years. It's happening. And then those motherfuckers are going to get in their car and come looking for water. And it's going to be this infiltration of millions and millions of people. Now, they're Americans, but we don't need any more Americans because, and then, California makes 70% of our food. That's going away too. So we don't need more mouths to feed. We don't need more people. We need less people. The whole world needs less people because of, we're like cockroaches, just devouring this planet, creating more and more pollution, more and more global warming. We're fucking doomed. You get it? You get it? That's why you don't want to have kids, because we are fucking doomed unless we change, okay? People don't understand that. People don't want to face the reality of the situation. That's the problem. That's the biggest problem with humanity. Humanity never wants to face the reality of the situation. They don't want to face the reality of who they are. They don't want to face the reality that you still are driven by animal instincts. You don't really have a personality. You're just programmed by all your life experiences. And part of that programming is a primitive monkey brain that wants to survive, which creates greed, and some people become unreasonably greedy billionaires. And we should stop them, just like you'd stop a serial killer. we got to change the system, okay? So we need excellent minded people in Washington who are intelligent enough, reasonable enough, kind enough, not greedy, who are thinking of the greater good, thinking 7 generations ahead. That's the kind of people we need. And we need them all over the world, And we need to promote global birth control. Take care of the old people until they die. They die at whatever, 400,000 a day or 500,000 a day or something. So if you just stop having kids and work on solar energy and battery technology, we might be able to save the planet so that humanity can survive. And maybe we could even give back a little land to the animal kingdom, So because our environment, we depend on our environment. We need real soil, not poison soil to grow food. We need bees, to pollinate everything. And right now we're killing bees. In fact, the new Washington policy is to put more chemicals on our food, which is going to kill whatever bees are left. You understand the situation? We're like intentionally going to starve ourselves to death. The whole time, everybody thinks it's sweet to have babies. Oh, it's so nice to have babies. Your babies are going to live in a Mad Max world and starve to death, or fight for survival. They'll have to kill each other, I can't believe nobody's talking about cannibalism in Gaza. Like you don't think they're eating the dead bodies by now? I think they must be. How are they alive? Israel won't give them any food. What are they eating? They got to be eating the dead bodies. I would, wouldn't you? But see, that's the thing. People deny their animal instincts, their monkey mind. Your monkey mind, it causes you to be greedy. It causes you to be violent. It causes you to be aggressive. You have to use your higher consciousness. And your higher consciousness has to realize that your monkey mind is always working behind your eyes. Your monkey mind's in there, man. It's in there and it's doing shit. And so you have to be aware of it. That's why religion's so fucked up. They kind of deny the monkey mind. They're not monkeys. God's telling them what to do. Blah, blah, blah. So therefore, killing is okay in God's name. And destroying the planet's okay in God's name. And hey, when God realizes we've fucked up enough, he's going to come and save our asses. Idiocy. Feeble-minded, pathetic-ass, moron idiocy, And that's the world we live in. Now, the only way to get better people or a better world is to have better people involved in politics. That's the only reason I said, yeah, I'd be willing to be president if enough people wanted me to be. And then right now, Bernie has he has a lifetime of experience. I'd still vote for Bernie. He needs a good vice president. I'd be vice president. Yes, I'd be willing to. I'd be a great vice president. Just in case he dies, And, I'm not out to do anything bad. I believe in the greater good. Every decision has to be for the greater good, not selfish, unreasonable, stupid, fucking greed, which is what our government's running on. And most of the world runs that way, without thinking of what's real, without accepting reality. You know, a big piece of reality nobody talks about is as the ice caps melt, and all that water is going to go to the equator because the Earth spins at 1,000 miles an hour, so it's squeezing the Earth the opposite way. So we're bound to have more earthquakes and volcanoes. And volcanoes could destroy the world. They could throw us back into an ice age, you know. But, you know, so global warming could eventually turn into an ice age after it pops some super volcanoes, you know. And that could happen anytime now. Next year, 3 years, 5 years from now. You know, so just keep on pumping out the babies to make more global warming so that we will be doomed for sure. You know, but first we'll run out of water and there'll be massive plant or crop depletion because the weather's so unstable. It'll be droughts and flooding and all that stuff. That's what's happening. Face reality. So that's where I'm at. See, and that's what we need in DC. We need people who will face reality, look at reality, and make good decisions based on reality, without all the pathetic, emotional bullshit like greed and selfishness and self-centeredness and, you know, yeah. Okay, well, I think I said it all. And if you don't want to vote for Bernie, another great guy is Senator Whitehouse. Somebody should nominate him for president. I like Senator Whitehouse. I think he's right about most everything. Okay, that's enough out of me for now. Thank you.